Hey, it's me again. The manga stuff will happen in a second, so calm down. You can scrub forward, it's fine. Just a little housekeeping. You might have noticed that I am no longer on the Upside Up. There's a few reasons for this, but the primary one is that it didn't survive the field test, by which I mean anyone who asked me what my YouTube was in person, I then had to physically type it up for them. And while I'm still a small channel, I figure I can work out the kinks. If you've seen my stand-up, you know that I use the stage name Pina, and on this channel I am presenting things to you. So I've decided to pull that into this realm as well, and I am now Pina Presents. It makes it easier to recognize me, and it makes me touch people's phones less. One other small thing, this is a re-record because since I did this, some of these manga have finished, and so I had to update. Alright, let's get going. Editor me, hit the intro. Hey, mentioned at the end of my last video, which I then had to re-upload, that I'd be talking about what I do for work, and I am working as an editor or translator for manga. I decided the best way to kind of merge my work and my fun is to talk about what I'm reading now and what I'm working on. So I work with a team of very, very talented people, and we maintain a high quality of standard on what we do. Not going to talk about the specific manga I work on. Some of them are here, some of them are not. But I'm not going to say who works on what for security purposes, and you know how comments are. But all of these are manga that I love. Some of them I read on my days off. Some of them I read during lunchtime. I do nothing during work but work. But all of these are available on Manga Plus. This isn't a sponsored video, although, Manga Plus hit me up. But Manga Plus is a website that lets you read Shueisha's works for free. Those that aren't currently free are available on the Manga Plus app. And as someone who has sailed the seven seas to get the manga that I want to read, it is super comforting to have Shueisha putting out some of their biggest hits for free in English the same day they come out in Japan. I could continue to gush, but you'd rather hear the fucking manga, so let's go. The other world is growing restless. There are calls for judgment on the human race. Heaven and hell each choose a judge to tally the good and bad deeds of one human representative. A single person meant to represent the fate of the entire human race. The judge chosen by heaven is Ran, a young but eager angel with an unusual fondness for human food and drink. The judge chosen by hell is Boros, a stern yet oddly tidy demon who is quite particular despite being an agent of the underworld. God himself chooses the human representative, a 6-year-old orphan named Sachi Ueno. Thus begins the strangest found family manga I've ever read, Sachi's Records. Sachi is a little brat with an absolute heart of gold. Ran is pretty much a Japanese salaryman in the guise of an angel, and Boros is the most tsundere demon you've seen since Haie from Yu Yu Hakusho. This manga is so much fun to read. It's easy to pick up and scroll through. Plus, the mangaka Chanta swaps between regular chapters of somewhat episodic manga and extra chapters, which are just really fun, goofy 4-panel jokes. You can't lose. This manga has recently ended, so you can find it in the completed section of Manga Plus, but it is absolutely one of my favorite manga this year. In the slums of the city, a lowly human finishes a dark ritual by sacrificing his own life. His goal? The extermination of the human race. His method? Yattara, an ancient being of untold power who knows only one thing: hunger. In its quest for further food, Yatra stumbles across 3 orphaned children, nearly dead from starvation, and decides to quickly make them its meal. But to its surprise, the children show spirit, fighting although their own hunger has nearly consumed them. Through happenstance, Yatra gets an idea. Should it care for these humans and restore them to health, then their growth could perhaps create a new flavor, much how hand-grown vegetables contain a richer taste. So rather than devour them immediately, Yatra brings the humans food, gifts them new clothes, and encourages them to grow healthy again. But something inside Yatra is changing. Could it perhaps care for these humans? In another found family manga, Yatra is a fucking trip. The art is beautiful in a really grim way, and the designs are so creative. The story is still unfolding. This one comes out, I think, once every 2 or 3 weeks. And it's still a little early to tell exactly what's happening, but watching Yatra cope with its worldview expanding, being a new single parent, and figuring out the depths of what the hell is up with this xenophobic country is deep and exciting. Full recommend. I've talked about a few found family ones. Next is something a little more actiony. Satsuki Moriyama, 17 years old, is in love. Her boyfriend, Sasaki-kun, is like a total dreamboat. They've been dating for 3 months and finally held hands. Everything is going according to her TLP, that's her True Love Plan document, detailing exactly how her love will unfold. There's just one problem. Sasaki-kun has just been abducted by aliens. It seems that in addition to being incredibly dreamy, Sasaki-kun is also rife with age-happer, a substance that is purposely ill-defined and seems to vary from creature to creature. The point is, these aliens need 100,000 of whatever it is, and are in the business of kidnapping humans to drain them of their age-happer, which does, unfortunately, kill them. Normally, humans have less than 100, but Sasaki-kun has almost 1,000 times that by himself. Despite being fully willing to kill these aliens herself to save the love of her life, Satsuki comes to an agreement with them. She'll gather a japper equivalent to Sasaki's value, as well as the loan value of the weapons she borrows, within 1 year, or she'll lose him forever. Lunatic Terrapop, or Lunapop as I call it and nobody else in the office calls it, is one of my favorite new manga because I love anything with a girl protagonist that isn't treated as less than or weaker than a male protagonist would be. Because despite being very lovey-dovey driven, Satsuki never wants Sasaki-kun to be there to fight her battles. She just wants to see him again. And I feel like it perfectly encapsulates the way that teenage love can feel, the way it can make you feel vulnerable but invincible at the same time. And I also appreciate that Satsuki gets bodied as much as any average shonen manga protagonist. She is spared no punches. There are no non-hurting laser beams kind of thing. There are some knockdown drag-out fights in this manga, and I really appreciate it. I think it's great art, wonderful storyline. More women should get beat up in 2025. Wait, it's tough out there. Tamako Yashiro will take any job she can get, including working part-time in a ramen shop. This is no ordinary ramen shop, though. This is the rumored Red Cat Ramen, where no pictures are allowed and no interviews are ever done. Why is that? Well, this ramen shop is staffed entirely by cats. Look, I don't have a lot to say about Red Cat Ramen because I am pretty sure that I've just given you all you need. It's about a ramen shop staffed by cats. I feel like the only reason you're not reading it right now is because you didn't know it existed. It's on your reading list now. Most of the manga I'm talking about are relatively new. They started like last year or this year. But Red Cat Ramen has 150 chapters of ramen shop cats for you to enjoy. Next up, another daily life one, but for my fellow cryptid fans. Hey, do you like Don? Do you want more Don? Too bad. This ain't Don. I know Japanese cryptids are like a hot topic recently, and the urban legend files definitely takes advantage of that, but from a very different perspective. See, first year college student Mokume has finally gotten into the college of her dreams, a college she chose specifically because it has an occult club. It seems that former member Kugutsu was a magnet for all things unbelievable, but he quit the club because, as it turns out, he's personally never been a fan of the occult. When Mokume tracks him down, however, she finds out that he is, fortunately for her, a total scuzzbag, fully capable of being bribed into returning to the club as long as Mokume continues to provide him with money that he needs to keep gambling on pachinko and mahjong. Where Dandadan takes all sorts of cryptids as something exciting and silly, the urban legend files treats them as something silly and exciting. I feel like the difference is subtle in description, but once you read the manga, you'll understand it immediately. The ensemble cast is different kinds of silly that are easy to relate to. You know these weirdos. You'll quickly love these weirdos. But nevertheless, they are quirky beyond belief. If you're a fan of Japanese culture and you want something that's more daily life than Dandadan's battle-friendly style, this is definitely for you. Honestly, there are at least 10 more manga that I could talk about, but I want you to explore the site because I get the feeling that a lot of fans of manga just aren't aware of it. To my Japanese friends, you can read everything on the Jump Plus website, but that has nothing to do with me. なので、あまり構いません。で、that's all from me today. I don't want to do a long outro, but don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Did you know about these manga? Are you aware of them? Did you know that some of them have anime versions? Are you going to watch those? Until next time, go get a snack, drink some water, stay hydrated. I love you. Bye.